Hello. How y'all doing tonight? Oh no. Guys, all the punctuation just fell out of my story. Fail, right? Oh man. I was 16 years old and I had just got my very first car. It was a 1979 Pontiac Bonneville. It was pea green, had 2 doors and half the weight of the tank. Well, I got the car somewhere around January, and this is now somewhere around March. I was driving home from work, which was a Wendy's restaurant, and I was out on a country road heading home. It was way out away from the city, and I was driving, you know, you're 16, you drive a little fast and you're a little crazy, but I gotten off work, and get this. I got hit by a drunk driver. It was the middle of the day, but the guy was working night shift, and he had been out drinking and came home, and he swerved across the center line, and he just clipped the front of my car. Didn't even really spin the car. He just hit the front and munched the car all down the driver's side, and it was a hit and run, and he took off, and we ended up finding him and then dealing with him, but all that is another story. That happened like a week before the real fail of my story. So anyway, my car was hit by a drunk driver and I was fine, and my mom was all freaking out about it and saying how she should have never given me a car to drive, but something crazy happened. You know, so we can deal with the car getting hit, but there's something like in the 16-year-old brain after that first accident, like all of a sudden something's been broken and now there's like a new craziness that entered me, and a fearless driver was born because of that accident. A week later, literally a week after I was hit, a bunch of my friends were freestyle BMXers back in the days when you used to put all those things on your wheels and stand on the bikes and such. They would do stunts like I would see my friend would surf, where you put one foot on the handlebars and one foot on the seat and lift up his leg and just be steering with his foot. So at this show, and they traveled around the state, and then they do that kind of stuff, and I'm going to the show, and so I drive to see him, and it was in a small little town out in the middle of the country, and we were there early, and it was a couple of hours before they had to go on, and do their thing, and so a bunch of bored 16-year-olds say, "Hey, you have a car, let's go for a ride, let's see what's going on." So we hop in the car and then we go riding around the small town. Most of the roads surrounding the town were gravel, so we're driving these gravel roads in this old beat-up green Bonneville with a V8 engine. These old country roads have very deep ditches on either side, and they were driving down there and going a little fast, and if you tap the brakes, you can get the car to fishtail or donut, and you can do whatever you seems fun when you're 16. So we're driving down these roads, and we come to a big hill, and the guys start yelling, "Let's go!" We go over the hill. I'm probably going 60 or 70 miles an hour, tearing down the hill. I tap the brakes. The car starts to fishtail, go left, right, and I'm still holding control of it, and you have like 16-year-olds screaming like it's a roller coaster, having a great time, and right then we get up to the bottom of the hill, and the car does like a 360. Well, I don't know if it was a 360 because I ended up facing the direction I was coming in, but at least it turned once or twice, I think. Okay, so the car comes to a rest at the bottom of the hill, and it's hazy because it's dry and the gravel on the road has kicked up all this dust where you can't even see out of your windshield. So it's super hazy, and I'm sitting there, and I got my hands tied on the steering wheel, and my foot's on the brake, and I'm sitting there super stiff, total post-accident shock. Then everyone starts laughing, and I start to relax, and everybody's shouting, "That was awesome, that was awesome!" And so I'm finally peeling my fingers off the steering wheel, and I move my foot back, and the thing I forgot to do was put the car in park when I took my foot off the brake, and my standard transmission automatically begins rolling forward, and because of the dust, we didn't notice that the ditch was right there in front of us. I must have been sitting right on the ledge, and you can imagine what happens next. The car rolls forward and then falls sideways into the ditch. So not only is my car in the ditch, but it's laying on its side, and we had to open up the passenger side, and everybody had to crawl out the windows and get out of the car, and we had to call my stepfather, had to get a guy with a tractor to come and pull my car out of the ditch. So in less than a week, I wrecked my car twice. My friend missed his BMX show, and I was done driving for quite some time. Thank you.